These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Christelle Bell with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. And we're jumping right into that breaking news today. Iran has retaliated against the U.S. for strikes on nuclear facilities over the weekend. This morning, Iran fired missiles toward American troops stationed in Qatar. It's the same base President Trump visited last month and where the attack against Iran would have been controlled from. A U.S. official now saying none of the missiles hit the base. And of course, as we mentioned, that attack was targeted toward American troops again in Qatar. Here's a breakdown of what you see on your screen of where we have troops stationed across the Middle East. In total, there are about 40,000 American troops in that region, with about 10,000 in Qatar. Well, you know, this action is already having impacts on air travel. Qatar Airways has temporarily suspended all flights, and Qatar closed its airspace. Here you can see a video from Flight Radar 24 showing the airspace clearing over that area. That airspace just reopened. Kuwait and Bahrain have reopened their airspace after closing it earlier today. And we'll continue to track the latest developments and stick with us for continuing coverage throughout the evening on air and online at ABC15.com. And of course, you can always download our free mobile app. One driver is dead after a wrong way crash. It happened overnight in Mesa on the Loop 202 Red Mountain near Stapley. DPS says that two vehicles were involved and the driver going the wrong way was killed. We're told the driver who was hit is still in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No word just yet on what led up to that wreck in the first place. Well, today more than 30 people are without a home after a Sunday fire near 43rd Avenue and Van Buren. That fire impacted 6 mobile home units. ABC 15 was on site today as crews were there continuing to clean up. Bobby Mullen lost his home, and even worse, he was only able to rescue one of his 5 dogs.
Flames were coming through there, and at that point, you know, I turned back around to grab what I could, you know, the dogs and any personal items, and it was already just, you know, smoke. I couldn't see nothing.
Our thoughts are with Bobby and all of the families displaced during that fire. We know that the Red Cross is offering assistance to those who were forced out of that home due to the fire. You can find other ways to help those impacted right now on our website. In our wildfire watch, our team is tracking the Bridge Creek fire burning near Navajo Mountain. That's northeast of Page in the Four Corners region. The fire has grown to more than 2,200 acres. No containment as crews are in that area working to get it under control after some windy conditions over the weekend. Now to Border Watch, Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego co-sponsoring a new bill that he says will make improvements to border screenings. Gallego's office telling us the Checkpoint Act will modernize border checkpoint operations and formally task the Checkpoint Program Management Office with collecting data, coordinating with other law enforcement agencies, and improving agent training. Gallego is co-sponsoring this bill with Republican Senator Rick Scott. At the state capitol, lawmakers have just 1 week left to pass a new budget to avoid a government shutdown. Ahead at 5, Manuelita Beck with the ABC 15 political team takes us inside the debate happening right now as Republicans work to resolve an intra-party feud.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. It is going to be another triple-digit day tomorrow, but thankfully a whole lot lower than where we were last week and even a few degrees below what's considered normal for this time of the year. 106, that 30-year average tomorrow, around 103 degrees, early morning lows in the 70s and a few breezes in the afternoon. We still have low pressure passing by, which is why we're getting a little bit of a break from the extremely hot temperatures. As this clears out, high pressure will build in. The forecast getting a whole lot hotter hotter, but monsoon moisture also starting to push in, especially across New Mexico and West Texas. Beyond your 7-day forecast, we could see some of that come into Arizona. In fact, the outlook now for the first week of July favoring wetter than normal conditions as our monsoon starts to ramp up. For the next 7 days, though, it is looking dry in the valley. 103 tomorrow, up to 111 on Saturday, and 113 on Sunday and Monday before those rain chances arrive.